Let me quickly go to Mr. Oshuntokun. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo did say, look, the APC, the PDP, there are no options for Nigerians. It did criticize the government of the day. It came hard on the activities of the government, saying, look, it is not acceptable based on what the government has promised Nigerians. That's his criticism from the former president. Now, he's saying there needs to be a coalition of a new wave of leadership in Nigeria. The question a lot of people will ask the former president will be, where do you think this wave of new leadership or new leaders will be coming from? You are a member of the coalition. Are you going to be breeding a set of new leaders that we have never seen before?
Well, you know, the coalition essentially is on a rescue mission. At this point in time, we have to make a distinction between democracy and leadership. Democracy has fared relatively well in Nigeria. If democracy means participatory democracy, we've had a good election. There's relative freedom of speech, of fundamental human rights are observed. That is distinct from the quality of leadership and governance that we have had. What has democracy got to do with how a government responds to a crisis situation? What has democracy got to do with approving a recommendation being made to you on taking a disciplinary measure on your officials? You delayed for 3 or 4 months until the public start putting pressure on you. Look at contrast it with what has happened today. The one that you just told us now that the president has approved the disciplinary measures against the justice. I think the report was submitted yesterday. So how do you reconcile this with the deliberate slow attitude or even insensitivity or deliberate, deliberately ignoring taking those steps where other things are concerned? So it's not democracy that is not faring well in Nigeria. It is leadership and governance. And Nigeria is, sliding into ungovernability. So the right perspective to look at the coalition for Nigeria is simply a rescue mission. People are getting hopeless. I mean, there's nothing you can, if people are getting hopeless, you have to find a way of giving people hope. And that is why the president has come back to this issue of a coalition for Nigeria. Look, there's nothing more ridiculous than the spectacle of adults behaving like children. I mean, Nigerian governance has been afflicted with some kind of delinquency. And I'm not talking about this government alone. It has been for a while. The people, you see adults behaving like children. And look, since the coalition has been floated, I will give you these 2 governmental conduct that you yourself can assess, whether that kind of governance, whether people need to be rescued from that governance or not, or whether the concerns are legitimate. On the issue of the Benue, the president responded by omission, by an act of omission. He went to Nasarawa State. What explains the priority of Nasarawa over Benue in terms of the responsiveness of government to the issues of the day? Secondly, look at the reinstatement of the Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Against the recommendation of the minister. The president or the presidency is encouraging insubordination. There is no way that act can be justified. Now, these 2 governmental decisions and acts took place after the coalition has been formed. Those are the kind of things that justifies, this kind of intervention.
The intervention that your platform, Mr. Oshuntokun, if I may quickly come in, please. The kind of intervention that you profess that the movement, a platform is bringing, the question some Nigerians, a lot of people who are critics of your movement are asking is that yourself, you're not a new person to Nigeria's politics. You have been in power before. You have been in government before. The question will be, what exactly is new that you are the coalition are bringing to the table?
Listen, you are missing the essence of, there's no need to personalize it. Focus on the message and the idea. I'm not the one, I don't personify the coalition. The coalition has come with a message and ideas. If you subscribe to that message and ideas, all well and good. It's not me. It's not that Obasanjo wants to contest an election, or I myself am profiling myself for an election. We are putting forward an initiative and ideas. As I said, my own concept of what is happening is something like a rescue mission. What do? I mean, Nigeria has degenerated to a state that the overwhelming majority of Nigerians are seeing the two parties as what people usually choose between two evils. People feel entrapped.
All right.
That you are being asked to make a choice where a choice doesn't exist.
Okay, Mr. Oshintokun.
So that is where the idea of a third platform and intervention comes in.
Okay, sorry, for a moment.
Nigeria is sliding into in governability.
Okay, let's quickly pause for a moment because we need to take this break. But when we come back, we look at some of the issues bedeviling our elections, the issues on the table ahead of the 2019 elections, and perhaps a thought for us on where it will be coming from. That's after now, everyone. Join us again.